Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor with my May 2019 astrology overview. And this is a general overview of the major astrological trends and planetary aspects felt by everybody during the month of May. Now, if you want your own sun sign forecast, it will follow in the videos that follow this. So check that out. And if you're ready for your own personal reading from me, go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Look over the selections, choose the one that really speaks to you, and I look forward to helping you discover how fabulous you are and how awesome your own personal path is for the coming year. So let's talk about what's going on this month in May. Why don't we just start with the new moon and full moon? We know how powerful these lunations are. The new moon, which is a time of new beginnings, this is a time that follows the dark of the moon when everything is kind of low energy. And the moon rules function and form. So nothing really happens on the dark of the moon. That's about 2 days before the new moon. On the new moon, energy starts moving forward. And so you want to look and see where this new moon falls in your birth chart. Well, it falls in 14 degrees of Taurus. 14 Taurus, 11 to be exact. 14 degrees, 11 minutes of Taurus. On Saturday, May 4th. And this is when things start moving forward. Find this in your birth chart. You know, I really believe, I've seen it work for over 50 years. Conjunctions tell the tale. So see what you've got within 5 degrees of 14 Taurus. I allow a nice wide orb. And you will have a really lovely picture of where your life is starting to move forward. And then for the next 2 weeks, the moon is growing. And think of it like a balloon. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. How do we know? Because you can see it up in the heavens. Just look up there. You can see the sky. You see it growing. And so on the full moon, first of all, like about 2 days before the full moon, you feel tense. There is a tension in the air. It's like a violin string that has been tightened and tightened. And on the full moon, it pops. Wherever that pop takes place, that is the area of your life where things come to a head. And this can be marvelous for you. The full moon is May 18th. It is in 27 Scorpio, 39. Now, Scorpio is the most intense and most powerful sign of the zodiac, in my opinion. And I've watched people on the Scorpio full moon. Things are even more intense at that point. And then when it comes to fullness, oh, there is such a relief. Find 27 and a half Scorpio in your birth chart. Allow a 5 degree orb either way, and you will see where things are coming to a head. Now, after you've finished this overview, you're going to want to watch the video on your particular sign, because I'm going to give you even more information. And then if you are ready for your own personal forecast, go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and select the reading or readings that you prefer. And I look forward to telling you how fabulous you are and helping you navigate your year ahead positively, confidently, and optimistically, because that is how I live. So we got the new moon, we got the full moon. Let me tell you what else I'm going to be covering in your own personal forecast for this month. You may recall back in January when we had those 2 eclipses, and I explained that we feel the effects of an eclipse about a week before it occurs and until the next pair come along, which is, in this case, July. However, they are at their peak 3 to 4 months after they occur. Well, 3 to 4 months from January is April and May. So in my monthly forecast for each of the signs, that means your sign, I will tell you again where the January 5th eclipse fell and the January 21st eclipse, and you will have a much better picture of what's going on with you this month. It will explain so much. Now, what else? Oh, let's talk about where the planets are. First of all, we start off the month with the sun in practical, logical, let's take it one step at a time, and let's stop in at Starbucks for a latte. Taurus. Taurus is the first of the earth signs, so it is very basic and primal. It loves food. It loves pleasure. And after working 5 days a week, it says, I am doing absolutely nothing on the weekends. I find that Taurus can teach us how to enjoy life. And so those of you who are Taurians, or have your moon in Taurus, or your ascendant in Taurus, you know what I mean. And so you have felt this energy, and the true you has emerged. Now, on the 21st of May, look out, because we have a whole change of pace. The sun enters my personal favorite sign, Gemini. And those of you who are born under Gemini have been counting the days because you're ready to hit the ground running. Let me mention this. I have observed and experienced that when the sun changes signs, particularly if it is your sign, even if your birthday is well into the month or the 30 days that the sun is in your sign, on that first day you start feeling it. So get ready, Gemini, because on the 21st, we move from Taurus to, we haven't left yet? When are we leaving? What are we doing? Who are we doing it with? Let's talk about it. Let's book a flight. Let's get in the car and go. Gemini. And so the energy is very, very different. And those of you who are very sensitive are kind of chuckling right now because you know what I'm talking about. You feel it. I am validating you. And if you are an empath, oh my word, dear friend, you really feel it. I cannot state this strongly enough. If you're an empath, you feel everything. You can't even go to the mall. But don't get me started on that. Those of us who are empaths know you have to protect yourself. Okay. So on the 21st, till well into June, of course, Gemini. Now, Mercury, very interesting, starts off the month in my way or the highway, Aries. And I love Aries energy. It's direct, it's to the point, you know where you stand with them. I'm crazy about that energy. And since Mercury is what we think about and talk about, now the sun is the giver of life. It's our ego, it's there. But Mercury's our mind and our mouth. And in Aries, very direct, no mincing of words. On the 6th of the month, it moves into Taurus. So it joins the sun. And Mercury is thinking like a Taurian then. Even if you have nothing in Taurus, it doesn't matter. This is a universal placement for Mercury at this time. And it's slower, much slower than Aries. And maybe you're thinking more about money. Maybe you're thinking more about pleasure. because Taurus is ruled by Venus, the pleasure principle. How lovely is that? Well, Mercury moves very quickly. And so on the 21st, where did you hear that number before? With the sun. On the 21st, Mercury enters its own sign, which is Gemini, the same day that the sun enters Gemini. It's kind of a double whammy. So the 21st is a really important day for an energy shift. So if you've been waiting for an energy shift, you say, oh gosh. And those of you who know astrology might be saying, I'd like to be able to get off the couch and do something, but I don't really feel like it. When the sun and Mercury enter Gemini, you probably will, because there's just lots of activity. Gemini being an air sign. Okay. Let's move on to Venus. Venus is the planet of love and money and beauty, and it is in Aries. And so the loving action that the world has been feeling and will feel until the 15th is a more, I see, I like, I go over and talk to Aries kind of energy. It's really cool. And so there's a much more direct loving energy. Notice it in your social circles. People step forward more. It's a lot of fun. And then on the 15th, Venus enters its own sign, Taurus. And this is a time of indulgence, of love of sugar, love of everything that the earth has to offer. Taurus being a very practical sign, and Venus being the sign of love and beauty. It is a time of enjoyment. So you want to see where this falls in your birth chart. Enjoy. Now, Mars. Mars, gosh, it's what you throw yourself into. Mars is energy. Mars is passion. Mars is sex. Mars is war. Okay? Gunfire. It's do it now. It's been in Gemini. So Mars in Gemini gets up on its horse and rides off in all directions at once. That's Mars in Gemini. Lots of activity, lots to do. Yeehaw! And then on the same day that Taurus is triggered with Venus's entry into Taurus, Mars enters Cancer. Cancer rules home and family and emotional security needs. And it's a time very often of summer vacation with the family. Makes sense. It's also a time when you want to spruce up the house, maybe sell the house, maybe buy a new one, but your energy then is focused on what will make you feel emotionally secure. That's the whole thing about Cancer. So Mars in Cancer, you'll fight with your family, you'll fight for your family. That's the bottom line. So interesting, don't you think? So I think I have pretty much covered the immediacy, the immediate planets, I call them, the ones that require attention and enjoyment, because we do have Venus as part of the group. So look for, on the 21st, look for, or the feel, I shouldn't say look for, but be aware of and prepared for a change in energy. And just prior to that, on the 15th, the same thing. If you are aware and alert, you will feel it. Now, some of you say, I don't feel these changes. That's okay. You don't have to. It's perfectly okay. There are a lot of people who do, and they wonder about their own sanity. And I'm saying this so that you know, no, you ain't crazy. You're just very aware and very sensitive. So, with all this in mind, look at your video, the video for your sun sign. And my blessing as always, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now, my dear friends.